actual decorated floor.
Are we starting? Yes, we're starting.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, we should probably do a split for this, because we're gonna explore it.
Throw and I forgot.
But that's just over there. Wait, that's on both sides.
The art of darkness.
That hurt.
It's probably a spread out kind of thing.
Everybody died.
And then everyone died.
Well, not everybody. But half of us died.
Yeah, let's spread out. Let's do our 8 ways for reals this time. Around C?
Oh yeah, we have new.
Are we gonna need new 8-ways?
Yeah, we have new 8 ways.
I'm still claiming south because of actual spoilers later.
Yeah, well, also you don't need to pick a new 8-way.
I guess I have to move, huh?
Yeah, well, welcome to Northwest bitch duty.
Oh, I don't want to be Northwest, bitch.
Alright.
For the record, pretty much everything in this fight, including auto attacks, is magic damage, so Dark Missionary is very good, as is Heart of Light.
Cool.
So if you ever find yourself wondering whether your mitigation applies, yes it does.
Nice. Well, I don't actually know what this does. Okay, no.
Yeah, picks random people and seems to bomb them.
Sorry, I was in the wrong area.
We're in the right area.
Oh, that also seems to.
Wait,
Okay, in front of me.
placeholder lived.
I'm kidding. We're probably still gonna die. that was the damage cap.
I was like, is this a thing that you can step out of? And like, no, it seems like it picked people. Like the first time it looked like it was on Cardinals or whatever. All right.
Yeah, the first one was fine. The second one, not so much.
You gotta, yeah,
Do
this
sign
person
them,
applied a magic phone. It was on your party list, and I was actually surprised that you got it.
Yeah, I did the signs. I had to know. You can get way up there, though. I bet I could have gotten closer to the wall.
For science.
That's a long
Alright.
way for me to go in the opener, so I gotta figure it out. I know the struggle now, Garrett.
Well, luckily for Summoner, you have a lot of.
Digging around
Too
the
close to the edge.
Not that far.
I'm not jumping off. I'm raising you. I'm raising you all.
That's fine.
I guess we're gonna last 20 seconds anyway.
It's not like we're gonna clear, so.
What are you talking about? 3-shot.
Oh, you're not gonna start with next mana. That's gonna be interesting for your rotation.
Let's try not to hit other people with the things.
98k. That seems survivable.
Nope.
All right. Maybe we have to do tanks. That does not seem survivable. Holy cow.
I think we just weren't topped off.
Yeah.
You did it wrong.
No, I would have died.
How was it?
All right, let's try stacking pairs of 2.
You know, we're
DPS
just-
on your tank and healer buddy.
I took a lot of damage.
Give me just a minute, real quick.
Does that mean I rotate onto you, Carrot?
Yes.
Okay. So we're doing that after the particle beam thing?
I mean, it doesn't seem like the particle... Like, you could do it from the start of the fight if you want.
Is it only DPS that get targeted by the first thing?
That's what it seems.
Oh, it could be distance based.
Okay.
Well, we'll try this and see if it's hilariously wrong.
Okay.
So, we'll have stack with your buddy on. Can we have a real poll?
That was me going slightly too far forward, yes.
Wait,
Sorry,
why did you jump off?
The macro I said I was supposed to. Also, I just realized you're my partner now, Tam, aren't you?
Maybe.
This means for the stack, I can make you come to me. I'm the caster in this relationship.
Unless
believe
he's
that-
stuck.
Healers adjust.
That might be possible.
He also casts.
Sam
do.
does have casts. And they have positionals.
Sword
Right.
mage?
Sorry about that.
Yes, sword mage.
It's when they're when they use their Kenki.
I cast sword.
Probably should focus on placeholder. Actually, I don't even know if the shield's gonna last.
I can weave in a thingy if I have to.
It looks like it should. Pretty much barely.
Yes.
Stack of dudes.
Wait,
That don't seem right.
No,
Not
that
for the
shot
first
was
one.
2 beams.
Seems
I
like
was gonna
that's,
say.
not for the
that's
first one.
random then.
Well then. Yeah, so I guess she
The
can
na-
alternate which one she does first.
The name of the thing seems different.
Oh, right.
Also, Carrot, is there a world where I can convince you to change that to 12? Because I have to count down in my head 5 seconds every time this starts. Because my opener starts at 12.
Wow! Wow! What a needy little Wallafell.
Wait, didn't
Unless someone else needs it at 17.
didn't
Look,
Tam?
In
I
T, I got used
I changed it for
Tam had a
you.
different. I know, but so I realized afterward that Tam had a thing in T that makes a noise at 12, and that's when my muscle memory is set to start my sharp cast on. But with this, I have to count backwards 5 seconds in my head, and I've been off every time. Because it's a super tight opener.
Well, I guess until we have a dancer here, we'll say this is.
Yeah, we're just do what's on to. That's what Tam did too, I think.
I cannot fathom why Tam would have added one at 12, but whatever.
It was for a
me,
placeholder.
for the reason I just asked for one. Black mage things.
Actually, yeah. Let me check text commands. Slash countdown.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize this would be such an ordeal.
I'm
But it
trying to
is
see if
necessary.
there's a way I can use the same button to cancel a countdown. Subcommand. No, it does not seem like. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I wish there was an icon that had that went above 10. Good enough. Good enough. All right, what are we trying this time?
I think we
We're
just
gonna
need to
read
pay
what she says
attention.
first.
Well, are we stacking for the stack thing and not stacking for the beams, or what?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay.
Thanks. That's not stack.
Oh no! I was
You
directly.
need to stack it, actually.
I was directly in between two people.
Yeah, it's just a spread. That one's definitely not a stack.
Yeah, I got hit by 2, which I'm assuming was Tam's.
Oh, is that just hit everybody? The lasers?
Yeah, there was a laser for every person that was not already dead, it seems.
So I think it's if you see the 2 heads glowing, it's gonna be the spread out thing,
The lines?
and that
Lines are spread.
no, not the. If it looks like she's charging up a laser, she's gonna do the lasers.
Okay. She's a charge in Malaysia.
But the lasers are also spread, right?
Yeah, that way.
Yes.
Valenta, why are you taking so much damage?
I don't know.
Probably tank swap.
Yeah,
Tylee, did you just shirk Carrot back?
that's rude.
I did that before. I didn't see Carrot shirk me. I did that to become number 2 on threat after he built some.
Blood of Obscurity. This might hurt.
Oh, that's where we drop the little vine.
Ooh. They drop on us this time.
I'm getting rough Asia
What the hell is
here.
that?
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
Getting some real rough Asia vibes here.
Some bad
Alright, well,
vibration.
good thing we have 8 ways, because it looks like that's going to be a thing, although after the knockback, we need to stay knocked
Ow.
back.
So that we don't drop those in.
Also, we might need to not drop them on the Cardinals, so that we have space cleared for the... Like, I guess if as long as they're on the edge, there should be enough space to... yes?
I will say the Cardinals themselves are fine because, as you see, she jumps to the Cardinal.
In the Cardinals, there will be a cone that is safe from the 2 explosions, and we don't want to be pushed all the way to the edge.
Well,
It's not safe on the
If-
Cardinal, it's
if
safe
the
to the
puddle-
side of the Cardinals.
if the puddle is at the edge, there is a safe space in front of it and on its sides.
Right.
So just drop the puddles on the edge of the arena is the...
Now that said, they don't have to be on the Cardinals. I'm honestly not sure how it's intended to do that. And I'm not entirely sure what it does either.
This is the
Well.
other spread first, and then spread. What?
Uh,
Oh, that's one way to do that.
I've got placeholder, but why?
Oh, it's probably
Why?
proximity.
It's taking so much more damage.
Oh, ooh, that's awkward. Stay out.
And you want to go to B and D after this.
Anti-air phaser elemental.
Quick get to her.
Ooh. What?
Wait, what?
Rude.
That was
Get
good.
away.
That's get away. How dare you do things differently from normal?
That's the other reason it's fine to drop them on the Cardinals. Being inside her hitbox is a really bad idea for exactly that reason.
But is that going to be the case all the time? Guess we'll find out.
Solenta did not have a buddy.
Gotta stack with your partner for that. Yikes!
What just happened?
Turns out you probably still need that first cancel. That's my best guess.
You can knock back that, but it puts a flower in the middle.
You're correct. B and D again.
Well, that's unfortunate. I can't actually break this. Oh, I'm so bad.
Yeah, so you are tethered not just to.
This is the getaway.
Oh, there might not be room here.
Well, that was a lot of space.
Oh, and then
Then you
there's
have to get up close.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Anti-air is get away and then get in. So get away, spread, then get in to the edges.
I don't know if there's get away because I was really far away and it still hit me.
I
and
think that was targeting people.
Yeah,
I
but
could answer
the
that question.
second hit.
That would be spoilers.
There's a thing that targets people after the first initial explosion.
You guys jumping? It was anti-air.
Okay, so first thing, the vines will tether not just you to a vine, but you to another player. So you need to break the tether with the other player at the same time as breaking the tether with the vine, and then get to the whichever cardinal's safe.
I'm getting tethered to two different vines.
That's what I'm saying. One of the vines is tethering you to a player. The other one is tethering you to a flower. So you obviously need to run away from your flower, but you need to not be running in the same direction as the player. Don't
I've
hug
been
your
tethered
buddy.
to two different flowers.
Don't hug your buddy.
I think we're talking about something else.
Oh, okay. Sometimes hug your buddy. Hug your buddy when it's appropriate.
Which means since we were talking about that, I wasn't listening to what you were saying. Sorry. What were we talking about?
The vines. After the knockback, and you drop your flower, you'll be tethered to two things. You'll have two vines that you need to break,
Okay. Yeah.
and one of them is or should be another player. And you need to not run in the same direction as that
Right.
person.
So what are we doing about the explosions?
We'll get there. That's our solution.
We'll just pull again? Okay.
Well, my first question is going to... Did anybody see where the safe spot was for the third hit? Was it actually under her? Or was it
Side.
on the edge?
To the sides.
Really
To the
close
sides
to
of
her.
her. On the edge.
Yeah.
You,
Wait, Kanata, come stand right here, Kanata.
Tylede, I will say that if you stand under her, you will die. Every time.
Did Nearest always look like this? Because you guys are twinsies, like total twinsies now.
What? Not anymore. Oh wait, what the heck?
You are both blue-haired, glasses-wearing Mikos. It's just you don't have the as quite as prominent of cheekbone paint or whatever it is.
He always had blue hair.
I've changed the armor, but yeah. Face has been the same.
The poopy dress was distracting.
You might not have noticed because normally I'm wearing the dark blue dress, yeah.
So that spot should be safe. And that is probably bad. But this is probably okay.
That's for the third AoE.
But
Might
for the
I
first two-
recommend getting or trying pearl white dye? I think it looks very nice on that armor. Pearl white dye is actually one of my favorite new dyes. It looks better than pure white dye in a lot of cases. All right, so we've got, at least as far as we've seen, figured out enough to give it a go.
We're just gonna spread out for the first 2 hits and then get to our sides for the third. If
Yeah,
it's
let's-
anti.
Yeah, at least try spread out so that you don't get like double tapped. Tylete for the whatever charging darkness or whatever. Let's do tank swap back.
Okay.
So during the cast, you should provoke and all shirk, and then you can swap back after that, after the big hit. I don't know if it should be something that you should be able to survive. Are you ready, Nearest? With a cooldown, I should say.
If it was me that was off in the check, yeah. It probably auto responded since I was looking at the die menu. You are right. Pearl looks pretty good.
That is the one to not stack.
Oops.
This is the one to stack.
Rip.
You deserve that.
Oops. How did that beam not kill me then?
No, that's what I'm confused about. Solenta's taking enough damage that other people should be dying with him, but they're not.
Oh, okay. I'll just die to that.
Yeah, but blood for blood doesn't exist anymore. What's your excuse now?
Wait, this is not blood for blood?
It's Lance Charge. It doesn't have the increased damage.
No, it's blood for blood. It uses the same icon. Why would they rename it?
Reason they turned convert into mana font.
Because it no longer
Sounds like
hurts
you're helped.
you.
It's no longer suicidal, yes.
But it was so funny.
It's okay. If you like that skill, you'll love double
Oh.
edge.
Actually, this is a serious question. Are either of you reprisaling that?
Which one? I'm reprisaling this hit right here.
In that case, Tylete should try to reprisal these.
This is stack. Then spread out.
I believe if you do it late enough, reprisal will cover both of those.
Oh, it didn't.
That was silly of me.
Spread out.
Right.
Oh, I think. Do I need to stack with somebody for that?
The puddles? The plant things?
Stand inside the plant. Is this Rafflesia again?
Oh,
We'll get rooted so that the anti-air won't hit us. It's so meta.
good idea.
This is such a fucking throwback fight. What next? Are we gonna get bees? Are we gonna have to put away our weapons and stop auto attacks?
Lighted.
Thankfully, no. I would have been complaining about that already if that were the case.
Wow, Nearest admitting that he would spoil us.
You would have seen it because the entire forums would be enraged. People can't do nothing mechanics.
Oh, I've literally not looked at anything.
This is stack.
Sure is. I should do that in the future to prevent this situation.
So the one where it's going into her body, that is the lasers. I'm just gonna jump off. No, I don't even need to. Don't even need to.
Wait,
Living
don't
Dead.
fast, don't fast. Oh, shit.
Living Dead. Just Living Dead.
Wait,
Or I could die.
what?
I would too.
Wait,
I
what?
think I got lasered.
But how?
Did Toei die?
No.
No, Talit doesn't have tank stance on, so he's not going to automatically be at the top.
Oh.
Like,
I provoked.
Oh,
you guys heal a
so
lot.
I probably.
Anyway,
I think I had it.
just the tell for that. If it's going into her body and not the two orbs, then it's spread. If it's going into the two little cloud tentacle things, then stack.
By the way, Kanana, you do not need to move to me. I will move to you. I'm just doing positionals first because they are more important than mechanics.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
I respect the hell out of it.
This is the new not moving.
Does Lawbreaker have a regen? Right.
That's right. Oh no, I should not have used my charge. This time it's going to be AC.
Can I puddle?
All right, so get away from her.
Nope,
Again,
nope,
puddles.
don't step in a puddle! Don't step in a puddle!
We can roll.
I think you're supposed to. I think DPS are supposed to stack with tanks and healers because I took a laser alone and it did 207,000.
If you had the 4 little beams around you. So I thought I could have sworn that I saw 2 different animations.
Well, the first one definitely lands underneath her, so that's easy to dodge.
Yeah.
Then it seems, yeah, like I don't. It's hard to tell how large that animation is, but yeah, we can try having assigned stacks. Do we want to do it like old school Titan style, where it's like group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, something like that?
Yeah.
I guess we move this one in a little bit. As long as you're not underneath her at the start of it. So like tanks should be on the 1 and 3. Tanks and melees.
My partner's dancing.
I mean, would you over there far enough with you?
I think
I guess if you're melee, then
I don't
I guess I'd
think
go.
that should be a part of this. Yeah, you should go the 2 with
That's fine.
Kanata.
Just Kanata, maybe. We'll see.
I'll get there eventually. Server timings, we'll see.
Oh, I'm on the wrong line.
Are these
Oh, those will be relative. I mean,
Yeah, it just rotate those to whatever side she goes to.
okay?
Stack. Oops. Not so. And too soon. Too soon.
Now.
Get away from her. Get in. I got a magic Volt up, which makes me think that like stacking with people is not correct.
you get that even if you're by yourself. That's definitely for sure.
Yeah, I can't take whatever that is alone because I take 200,000 damage.
Maybe behind the plants.
Actually, wait. No, it might be fine if I still only got hit once. It is a. Did I get hit twice? Let's see here.
I only got
We
hit
did
once.
a whole lot of that.
I definitely only got hit once and died. Unless we want to start pulling out the big brain stuff, the only thing I can think of is line of sighting through the. But I don't know.
So if we do line of sight through the plants, then we need to have some plants that are like the ones on the cardinals definitely need to be at the edge, and the ones that are not on the cardinals need to be out a bit, like not all the way in the corner. I would say like probably on the edge of this little square thing, right? Like here's good. Also, I figured out what it was with the vines. When the ability goes off, you are tethered to anything that you are close to, which is either a vine or a player. I had 3 tethers that time. It was the 2 vines that I was closest to, or 2 plants that I was closest to, and 1 player. So that just means that we can't like start all stacked up in the same spot. Otherwise, we'll have like 8 vines tethered to everybody.
That mechanic is pretty flexible in how you want to deal with it, so whatever works.
So let's try putting the corner ones on the corner of the square, just so we can see if the line of sight thing has any merit.
All right, try it. Kanata, were you decked with somebody?
I was dead.
That's because we were tethered and we kept running the same direction. I had 3 tethers that time also.
Yeah, if you're not close to another player, you shouldn't get tethered to a player.
I mean, Kanadas
But-
and my 8-ways are pretty far from each other, so.
Oh, really?
But we ended up getting tethered together.
I was in the middle.
You were
of it.
tethered from across the arena?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe that's not true then. All right, then. I know you can get tethered, or maybe if someone's dead, you can get tethered to, like, there's a certain fixed number of tethers that go out. I don't know.
Oh, this is terrible. I just realized I'm missing a litany every pull. I gotta fix that.
This is spread. Stack.
So when Asylum just doesn't place.
When Asylum hits 6
Tank
people.
stuff.
Well, I think part of the issue might be that my spell speed is different now, so I'm trying to place it at a different spot in the GCD, maybe.
That's going to be BD. Safe.
Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Oh, she
Why-
did her
Oh.
other one first? What the
Oh.
hell?
Rude.
She called it as wide phase angle phaser unlimited.
Okay, okay.
But,
When
like,
did it start the cast bar?
While we're running around like chickens with our heads cut off.
we just wanted to test the one theory.
I just
Nope.
let us just try our one theory. All right.
If it's that, we're still going to go to the same four paired positions on the inside, right?
I don't think it matters in that case because you're not getting hit with.
I guess that's true.
I think we debunked the you need to stack with a buddy, but maybe not.
We didn't
Maybe
have
that's
enough
not
people
debunked
up,
yet.
so a bunch of people got 2.
Jesus Christ, I didn't hit it on time.
Yeah, right on time. Stack. I like the minimal movement. AC is safe.
Close.
Wide angle.
Oh, we got
Okay.
tricked.
Okay, so after that, it's get to the sides, get away from the sides, and get away from her. Okay, seems to be a 1, 2, 3.
Well, I don't think we need to go away from her. We just need to spread out because those looks like they're cones coming out from her.
No, well, I assumed that she just attacked the area that was safe, because that's what it looked like.
Did not look like that on my screen.
No, those cones tracked
Okay.
Knave.
because like I was out about where Midori is standing right now, and the cone shot at me. It didn't just shoot out to her side, like it was targeting her sides.
This is really awkward. Like, it's not easy to cover that much angular distance in such a short time. Like, I guess you can be pretty close. You can like be inside her hitbox at the start of that attack.
Yup, 8-way fan positions.
All right. Well,
I don't know what that's gonna look
Maybe
like.
it's four-way positions.
Maybe it's a stack thing.
I don't know. Like, we just need to spread out so that we're not standing radially in a line. My point, though, is that we can't use our regular 8-way positions because, well, we only had half the circle. So we need to decide. We need to determine what our 8-way fan positions for that are.
all right. C is the boss.
We just push closer, right? Just push closer together.
Kanata, which side are you running to?
Look, you don't need to stand that close to the C. We just need to get relative to each other. There you go.
Placeholder, you can stay on the edge.
Just don't need to move.
That's a good point.
Nearest, you should probably be like here.
Wait.
Or sorry, on the other side. on this side.
Are we doing it this way? So like, if the boss
Yeah.
jumps to C, or if the boss jumps to A, and this is where A is. We go to the opposite side of where we came from.
It's gonna look like this no matter which direction the boss jumps.
Yeah, just imagine this is whatever the edge of the arena the boss is on, regardless of absolute cardinals.
Then shouldn't I be on
So-
the other side?
No, you guys were running right
No.
before. This is arbitrary, right? It is completely arbitrary. Could be any side of the arena. And we just got done like running around with like chickens with our heads cut off, so
Fair enough.
also I'm gonna pull these markers out a bit so that where the markers are should be a safe spot to stand and not get hit by those two overlapping circles.
I forgot. Do we have relevant drop points for our flower patches or no?
What?
Do we have to drop our flower patches in any specific spots?
Yes.
Where
We're
they
still
again?
trying it where you're dropping your flower patch on this corner for now. Because we still haven't got a chance to test that theory.
Theory, I forgot why we were doing that.
Because she hasn't been doing the anti-air whatever thing. Spread. PC is safe.
What I meant to do?
What? Why did
Wide angle, so get to the sides. How wide are those cones?
Well, we had 3 basically covering an arc, so I don't know.
We probably also had a couple double cones.
Oh, you were definitely like directly behind me, Kana.
Yeah, I was like, huh, this is not safe. Let me go
There's
further.
not a lot of time between those two attacks to fan out.
Yeah.
Like,
1 second.
not a lot of time at all. Which
Like-
makes me really dubious.
Also, placeholder didn't move, and he was the only one in the corner. He still got wrecked.
Well, no, I didn't run out after the second hit. I could have survived that mechanic, but I was too lazy when I saw everyone else die.
Wait, what are you talking about? What, you didn't run out?
Well, he
I
didn't.
We
run
didn't
out
get
in
to a
the
third
third.
mechanic.
What? The third hit is the one she does around.
It was off the arena. Was that wide angle or anti-air?
That was wide angle.
Wide
Okay.
angle. The first hit whiffs like it should. Then everyone fanned out. I didn't get a Protean wave, and then the third hit killed me because I didn't move. The one that she does around her, I just didn't run out.
Oh, wait, you didn't get a second wave?
I didn't get a Protean wave. No.
Could it just be tanks and healers?
Pretty sure I got one.
Well,
Did you get
yours
one, or
is
did
dead.
you get someone hit by someone else's?
I didn't get hit at all by a cone.
Were
guess
all
it's
tanks
tanks
and
and
healers
healers.
alive there?
I was not.
So maybe he
I-
got hit.
I walked off the edge because we're not controlling the tethers, and so I ended up running the same way as my tethered buddy.
Okay, so let's just try. Hang on a second. I'm gonna steal C again. Let's just do like healers stay on the edge, and tanks just move out like 45 degrees.
It looks like only two cones are going out from my stream.
I think it was like
It
a
might just be-
triples.
We'll see. We'll see. It's either tanks and healers or just tanks. So, in the event that it is just tanks, it should be this should work also. Like DPS can just stay on the edges, and tanks will move 45 degrees away from the edge of the arena. And I don't know, we might need to pop a cooldown.
For the third hit, we're just running out to the edges, right? Or away
Uh,
from her.
Yeah, you just need to not be underneath her.
I have a note about snapshot timing when we're done with this pull. Since we actually have 2 melee now, and there is that point blank around her.
Spread. Oh, I picked the wrong one. Because I was not paying attention.
It's anti-air.
Anti-phaser! Alright. I'm gonna hide behind this puddle.
That didn't work.
Does not give a shit about puddles or plants. I need to get a
Just
drink.
distance. Have we tried being really far away from her for that? Like on the edge of the other side?
I have
Well-
not.
But then,
Well,
It does use the same animation as that she has for the thing that's directly under her hitbox. So, who knows? Maybe the corners of the arena opposite her are safe.
but then don't we need to go up close again?
I think that's only the wide angle one.
But she does
But-
the laser as the third hit. Just like she does 2 lasers and then the circles underneath her for the other one. I think she does 2 of the circle thingies and then the laser as the last hit.
In that case, it might be the tank thing, right? Where if she targets the tanks, then like the tanks need to run away from the stack so that they don't hit the stack with the cones. So like So I was gonna get a drink, but let's assume that this is correct. And Midori, let me borrow you for a second. So if it's anti-air, we're running, and she's standing at A or whatever. We're running to this corner right here. Like no, all the way in the corner. And then after the first hit, healers and DPS run towards the middle, away from her, or sorry, towards along this edge, the edge opposite her, and then the tanks will run this way, so that the cones go in a way so that they don't hit the other party. This also forces, once again, the tanks and healers to be split left and right, so that there's one in each. We'll just assume that that's what it is, because we don't have any other information to operate off of. One sec.
That's not anti-air. Okay. So did people have ideas for the anti-air?
I still think we need stacks.
Yeah, I think we should try stacks, but with like 8 people alive, and then make a good version. Because last time we had like 6.
No, but hold on. We know for a fact that there are multiple beams going out, and we figured out any pattern about that. Do we really think that 8 beams stacking on top of each other is a winning strategy?
Not 8 beams.
I mean, if I
paired
take a beam alone, I'm gonna die. So like,
Yeah,
how
one
else?
stack of
How are we gonna,
Two, you're gonna die.
My point, though, is that like you might be right that there's something along the lines of stacking, but if there are different beams that are going out, then maybe that tells us who's supposed to be stacking with who.
Are we still talking about the one where she's the wide angle thing?
Yeah.
oh, the anti-air.
I'm digging the theory that the cones only target the tanks, because that makes sense.
No,
Why
it
would
doesn't.
Kanata get one? I'll bet it's tanks and healers.
Well, if it's something that's supposed to hit tanks, then
Because you and Tylete were both alive, and Kanata still got one. So
Before I forget, by the way, with wide angle, you know how there's the point blank AoE after the cones? For melee, you can keep hitting her, but as soon as you see the cones, you're going to want to get out. It will snapshot pretty much immediately after that, so you need to not be greedy.
Third hit.
Yeah, basically you can keep your uptime, but as soon as the cones happen, you need a GTFO.
Yep, that's fine. That makes sense. But I think we're still stuck on the second hit for the 2 different mechanics. So we have a strategy for what we're going to try for the cones.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to forget to mention that otherwise, and things
I got it.
real things
Nope.
snapshot in here.
Makes perfect sense. I got it. But we didn't figure that out, did we? So we figured out what we're going to do for the cones if it's... Shit, now I'm getting them backwards in my head. Was the cones with the anti-air or with the non-anti-air?
I'm pretty
Wide
sure they're
angle.
cones with both, but
well,
the order is different. So here's
I don't think
what
there's cones in the.
Here's what I think. I think in the wide angle, it does the get to the sides, and then it does cones, and then it does get out. For
That sounds right.
the anti-air, I think what it is it's get out, no really get out, and then it does cones.
Yeah, no, I think those are different mechanics.
Well, let's see if we can survive the first hit of the second hit of the anti-air by running to the corners opposite of where she is attached to with her little bungee cords.
So literally like as far away as possible. Okay.
Literally as far as possible.
I will say this: the reason I think it's distance based is because the very first time we got it, and we were kind of fumbling around, I was about here if she was on the edge of A, and I didn't get hit with the thing and get killed. I survived the first hit while everyone else died.
Cool.
That's something. It's not a lot.
Well, no, I mean like that. It does not disprove the thing. In fact, it is positive evidence.
I would interpret that as meaning that it's most likely that the beams are proximity based, but we can try that too. So we can try this first and see what happens. Midori?
I'm here. I was just going over a thing with placeholder because I have a theory, but I don't think I'm being listened to.
I didn't see which way to go. Oh, AC is safe.
AC.
Wide angle. Yup.
Oops, on the wrong side.
And tanks move out.
Oh wait, get out.
But we survived up to that point. It's like, forgot about the third hit.
Big brain stratus for me to manipulate Neris in that phase. Because he surely knows where he's supposed to be.
Is Neris on your side? I guess you don't need to have
And
a
I
side.
survived. Big brain.
DPS.
I
would be on
should
my
have
side.
been on the other side. I autopiloted, but
Same.
I was in the same spot on the wrong side.
Same.
Well, as long as you guys aren't on the same side, we're good.
So earlier, Nair said something about us not handling the plants well.
You can control.
Is there a better way to do that?
You can
I keep-
control. It's not strictly speaking necessary. It just
Well, we know where we're gonna get knocked back
Well,
to,
let me
right?
put it this way.
Well, I am
Midori.
dying 50% of the time because I get tethered to somebody who's across the arena and we run the same direction.
Yeah,
So-
let me put it this way, Midori. In that case, I was tethered to you and the plant, and because I needed to run more or less the same way as
Same,
you,
me too. Yeah.
The reason I survived, you didn't, is I have benediction.
Sure. No, it's fine. I don't. I guess I don't want to know why you survived. I want to know how to fix it. Like, I don't know.
Okay, so Galaxy Brain strat number 1 is everybody gets knocked to the same spot. And then you just need to run away from that plant. And away from each other.
The initial hit from the floor.
Yeah, it'll kill us all.
Yeah.
So that,
Galaxy Brain strat 1.A is you fan out a little bit, but you knock them all onto the same side.
yeah, we can control where they go if we control the knockback on them. Should we just split into 2 groups and like put them each on half so that we can have like a path to run or something?
Like, I don't know if that's like a whole lot better or worse than dropping them into 8 ways. Pretty sure that the pug strat would just be drop them into 8 ways, because that seems to work well enough.
You do. Do you want to know what I'm saying?
What about if we drop them in our 8 ways and then we buddy up?
Well-
With our other buddies from earlier.
Does this fall under the category
know
of
if-
we understand how the mechanic actually works, and now we're just finding a better way to do it?
I think so.
Okay.
All right, near spill the beans.
Okay.
Just don't-
Unless I'm horribly misremembering, it tethers tanks and healers to DPS and everyone to the closest plant. So what I've seen is, yes, the tunnels are dropped at the Cardinals and the there around the edge. I have seen one other way where they're dropped in 2 clusters of 4, but just to be easy, Cardinals and corners of the square. And then tanks and healers stack north, DPS stack south. And then after the tethers go out, tanks and healers run south, DPS go north. This breaks their tethers from the plant because you'll be on the other side from what you spawned. And then after that, you move to the safe spots of the massive cleaves.
Okay, so that makes sense for after the puddles go out. We can change our 8-way for the knockback if that makes that easier, because that happens. I mean, there's plenty of time to reposition after the knockback to determine basically which plant you're going to get tethered to.
It honestly doesn't matter because they'll be split roughly evenly around the arena. So just if
Right, what I'm
you're
saying is,
somewhere on the north side and you run south, you'll break it.
if the tanks and healers are getting knocked back north, or sorry, I should say, if we're getting knocked back in sort of even distribution like we are right now, then that means that whichever healer is knocked south is going to have to run to the north.
That's
Before the
me.
tethers
It
go in.
takes 2 GCTs to get up there, and I stock 2 lilies for that.
All right, as long as you're fine with that, then it shouldn't be a problem. So let's just put these back. We're going to have tanks and healers stack at A, DPS stack at C.
Is for knockback or for after the knockback when we're waiting for
after,
our
when-
the, after the knockback.
When we're getting
So-
tethered.
You have the knockback, the plant spawns, and then you have this little like black visual effect underneath you for like 2 GCDs before the tethers go out.
Yes.
In that time, you go to the 2 stack puddles or stack.
Yeah,
places.
one note is it doesn't set the distance which the tethers are fixed at until they actually show up. So if you start running too early, you can end up with an impossible to break tether.
Yeah, that's normal tether bullshit.
I know, just it still applies here. Oh, and for the DPS puddles, yeah, do drop it here. It can be a problem if they end up in the far corners.
Well, in that case, just to make things a little bit easier, let's have these be the places to stack for your tanks and healers stuff. That means it's less distance to have to run.
So
once
also
these are
to clarify, if I'm on 3 as a DPS, I get my tether, and then run north, or am I running south?
You're
North.
running
You will
away
be tethered to a plant somewhere on the southern side.
Right. That's
You
why I'm.
will also be tethered to a tank or healer in the north, but because they're moving south, you'll break that tether anyway.
Yeah, so we should still start relatively close to each other.
It feels like a weird strategy to have tethers pointing in literally the opposite directions, but yeah,
Well, it's because you're baiting.
it's fine. It doesn't matter.
There are other ways to do this. This is just the most straightforward that I've seen.
Hey, missed. Where are we? So we're not dropping them in our 8 ways because we don't want them in the corners. You said.
No. Continue what we were doing before. We were doing it perfectly as far as getting to where you drop them. After you drop them, then we're going to stack it 1 and 3. So you're still going to drop yours on the corner of the square. Or basically, if you're standing on her hitbox and you get knocked back diagonally, you drop it wherever you end up after the knockback.
Okay. Cool.
What food should I be eating? I think I had some sausage. There you go. Sausage and sauerkraut. Good enough.
Reset after this pool.
Oh, I already hit it. Oh, that's awkward.
Whoa! Okay, it's fine.
Stack. Too soon.
Oh, I did it wrong.
I hope it's AC, because I'm dead if it's not. It's not!
So that one that's at B is
Wide angle.
not good for that split particularly.
The Cardinals, I think, want to be on the edge.
Yes, the Cardinals definitely want to be on the edge.
Yeah, the Cardinals want to be on the edge. Just a little tip. You see this inner line here? If you're standing just behind that, you'll get knocked to the very edge. So, if you stand here, you don't need to move after the knockback, you're good. Don't know how, but I ended up trying to attack Eos for some reason.
Can you even
You
do
know, you
that?
could target Eos.
You know how.
You know why.
Yep.
And then get to BD. Air phaser. Get to this corner over here.
Ow!
Okay, I got it. That definitely targeted me. 100% targeted me.
Yep, same. We didn't have all 8 people live.
Okay, so no, we didn't. I don't think that had multiple hits though. Let me check really quick. That only did 158,000 damage, so I could have survived that. Potentially. So let's assume that that hits tanks and healers again. We should probably have corners, like the 4 corners of the arena.
Sure. We needed tanks in the front, healers in the back.
That sounds reasonable.
If Cloud is at A, I'll be in this corner, and then Nearest can take the other corner.
Okay, so just to be clear, you're saying for anti-air, you want me to skedaddle.
Yep,
Yes.
all the way in
Sounds
the corner.
dangerous.
Okay,
And
just to make
DPS
sure I understand what you're asking.
DPS can be in the middle of the arena, because it looks like those circles are large enough that if the tanks and healers, assuming that they're the ones that get hit, if they are in the corners, the DPS should not get hit by that.
We can't survive
can't-
those by ourselves. That does 190.
Then I guess we'll need to do it with pairs.
I don't
Right after she does the AoEs on the people, she does the wide angle thing after that.
Well, it
Can't be in the middle of the arena at all.
does. I think it's not the wide angle. I think it's the cones that happen after wide angle.
I'm with Tam. I think it's the wide angle.
I don't know how we can resolve both of those mechanics in a reasonable, like, I don't think it's feasible to say you have to get like more than 20 yalms away from each other, and then also get to the edge of the arena.
I agree with that statement, which is why I was skeptical of the plan from the beginning to run far away, because I don't think that that's how that mechanic works. I don't know how it works, but I don't think that's it, because the third hit that we did see was the line attack that went across and left her little strip safe. Also, I'm getting hit with multiple of these, so like even if there is one on the tanks and healers, like I wasn't a healer, I was just stacked with carrot.
I mean, it looks like the things are very, very large. So
They are very large, yes. Because I think we've got the strategy for the other one down, but
Yes,
anti-air, I don't we know how that mechanic works. So
well, definitely. Okay, so you see the thing that she uses underneath herself? It looks like she picks players and she hits players with the thing that is that same radius.
yeah,
That's
that sounds right.
all I can say. So I think something that we can do to at least gain more information is like let's try not stacking. Let's just have everyone run to your 8 ways. And I'll stand in the middle since my 8 way is going to be underneath her, which is death. So it would be assuming that she is at that location. Just for this next poll, if it's the wide range, it would be I'll use the 4 marker here. Placeholder, Kanata,
No, let's reset.
Nearest, etc. Sure.
I'm gonna take 5.
Same. BRB.
Everyone see that?
See what? Oh,
Ouch! Didn't even succeed.
I'm gonna go back to my stream and see if I can.
can you link yours or
Yes.
what I'm
Mine's in the
concerned about is
Discord.
how many are going out there. How many tethers are actually going out? Like how many beams are actually happening during anti-air second mechanic? That's my big question.
Anyways, BRB.
Tam, can I go backwards?
Hello.
I don't know how it works in YouTube.
Basically,
I literally can just click back. Okay, never mind. I think I am both correct and incorrect. So it looks like, yeah, there's 4 beams, 5 people alive on our last poll. But there were different beams. One person got a beam that... I posted a screenshot. At least you had a good view, Tam. That said, I can't make out who's on the right there.
Yeah, I think we're getting the magic volume from the lasers on the floor because I think we're failing it, whatever it is.
The lasers on the floor?
The ones on the players during anti-air.
Oh, you know, I can look at that timing too. That's an interesting question.
Because there's nothing on anybody. There's no debuffs or anything on anyone for that.
If you go back a second, there's nothing on anybody. Do you see my screenshot?
Where'd my Discord go? Damn it. Yeah, I saw the screenshot.
So you're saying that if you go back like 1 second, nobody has any magic buffs?
Nope. The magic bones exactly when those things explode.
That's important, and I'm sure that that's part of the mechanic, but like, we should start with what we can see. Which is that there's obviously 2 different types of beams going off there. Now, unfortunately, because there's 3 people who are dead, we can't tell necessarily exactly everything that was going on. Like, I can't tell if there's 4 beams or 5, and I can't see where the last person is who died. Like, it's possible that the 2 tanks get the beams with the extra beams.
I'm looking at one of the. I went back like way far in my stream, and we have 7 people alive when those go off, and all of us die.
Oh, when is that? Roughly.
Go to about minus 1 hour and 5 minutes.
That far back? Okay.
sadly, I don't see like what anybody else does because I'm moving towards the boss.
Okay, but I can see that you did not get the special version with the beams.
Okay, I'm back. Seems we have lost somebody.
Nearest left.
Are we
And yeah,
getting...
right angle is after or at the end of anti-air.
Are we gonna grab someone and go back in, or what?
Wait, what happened to Nearest?
It's gonna
He
go
left. He
8:30.
said he had probably the same thing as last night.
Nope. So
Oh.
they seem confident that they're gonna clear this week. Scroll up.
We're not really gonna like find someone for 10 minutes, right?
We're all
Well, it should be like almost another hour, but
we could queue and see what happens.
that's not going to be really helpful for our goal of trying to, figure out a strategy and
Right.
coordinate or whatever. Like, we can grab someone in PF. That is the option that I would offer. Or we can slam our face into Emerald Weapon.
So I guess I'm willing to look the other way tonight, but if he's leaving early multiple weeks, that's not going to be an option. But I'll just ignore that for today. So let's review what we do know about this mechanic first. So as you can see in the screenshot, there are at least 3 or 4 beams going out. The person on the right, I don't know who that person was because I can't make it out in the screenshot. They got a different beam. This one did not have the extra beams around it, the mini beams. And based off of the other poll that I looked at, where Tam got a beam but did not get the mini beams, I'm going to guess that the different version of the beams happens on tanks and healers.
Or just on tanks.
Yeah, possibly just on. Yeah, there could just be 2 beams with mini beams. That is possible on tanks. I have no idea how they're different.
Well, from what I can see in the screenshot, they're different radius. That's the biggest difference. Like the ones with the mini beams is the size of her hitbox plus 20%. Like it looks to be about about a 15 yalm radius?
Yeah, I don't know.
And the mini beams look like it's about a 5 yalm radius.
That one you can see clearly. Actually, looks like there's a person behind 3. and I didn't see that person, so that must have been the fifth person. So, do we think that's just a spread out thing then? Probably. That would be my guess.
Well, if it's wide range after that, then we have to do something so that we can, in the span of one GCD, go from wherever we are to deal with this mechanic to the edge of the arena on the side that she's at.
Yeah. And actually, now that I say that, I must have been wrong, because it must not be just a spread out, because that person who was off there to the right, who was way off by themselves, I think they still died anyway. So clearly being by yourself doesn't work either.
Yeah, I was by myself. One of the pools, just in the bottom left corner, definitely exploded. I didn't catch whether I got the big beam or the small beam, but I definitely exploded.
Here is a reasonable assumption, which is it could be that the big ones are on tanks and the small ones are on healers, and the small ones need to be shared with people and the big ones need to be taken alone. That is a reasonable pattern that you could deal with, right? You know, have the tanks not stack with the party and then run in, and have the healers stack with the party in a specific location, like in the corners or something.
I just don't see where there's room to do any of this.
Yeah, because it's fucking huge AoE.
You could fit one tank tether just fine, but
And it might also be that it just it doesn't. There's not one on both of the tanks. There's only one. That could be a plausible scenario. You don't know which tank it is. In which case, like, both tanks can take it together in the middle of the arena, and the healers and DPS are on the corners.
I mean, it is certainly possible that what is happening, which is hard to tell in that video, is that one person got the same animation that her AoE does, and you had like 20 beams coming off of that person, in which case maybe there is only one tank stack, and everybody else had the minor stacks. It's hard to tell, but it kind of looked like 3 people got a beam with mini beams, but I can't tell. If there's just one big tank one with extra mini beams, then yeah, maybe you can just stand on the other side and everybody else stacks or something.
Right. This is what I was saying, that I wanted to try out, just having everyone go to their corners, just so that we could see who gets hit by what.
Well, the problem that time, though, is that we did go... Some of us were in our corners, and now we can't figure out what happened.
We also rarely get to that phase with 8 people, so people
All
might
right,
be
so
going
we should figure out what we're doing, or else we actually will not have time to do anything. Are we going to try to go back in, or are we done? Like...
Yeah, I mean, we have half an hour, and... I don't know.
I'm up for whatever.
I mean, I'm going to be playing this all night, probably, except for the brief moment where I will go do dailies in Genshin, but...
Can't let that resin go over cap.
Mine's way over.
Wait,
I'm spent.
I've done it a few times.
I can't. I don't have. Papers. I have to earn money first.
No. Just go in and craft your condensed resin, right?
So my computer account isn't in there in the story yet.
Well, I guess
I haven't
this
unlocked.
is what happens. This is what happens when you try to play 2 accounts at the same time. You did this with
someone
Animal
keeps telling
Crossing
me that.
also.
For the record, Nurse is only leaving early on Tuesdays normally? Is that what?
So this is what he says. Like once,
I'm confused.
like he said, it was only going to be leaving early on Tuesdays, but apparently this week is also leaving early, and then they're doing re-clears or something like that. But it's still going to be like leaving at 9 o'clock and not 9:15. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to try to find a new white mage, or if you are willing to push the time back earlier, or switch to different raid nights. It's really it's not something that I want to like just hand down a verdict, but
No, my thought is we were usually going from 7 to 10. We moved it back for now because it was convenient because people were working from home. But that was never really supposed to be like the long-term agreement, right? That was just kind of something we did because it was good enough and was going to work, and we were kind of on a quiet, dead schedule, right?
well, I mean, more importantly, the people who are East Coast were not having a good time.
They're
Like having
tired.
to stay that all the way until 10 o'clock, and then, I mean, even when we're ending at 9:15, people are like, "I'm out," as soon as 9:15 hits, and that's even though we have not consistently been logging in and getting started on time. That's if we want to get more time, I think that's the first place to look, is not starting 30, 45 minutes late.
Fair, but don't use evidence that people are leaving right away as evidence that like they're not interested in raiding. Like if we're doing stuff that we're not making progress on, or things are just like not exciting because we're not getting drops, it's not progression or anything, or it's progression on a fight that we're kind of stalled on. Like that's not the same thing as raiding for progression. Like I can see why people would want to kind of get out of here when they're done on a night like that, but
Well, all right, let's look at the other.
I feel cheated on. That's all.
Yeah, let's look at the other factors or whatever. Nearest did choose to raid with this other group that has an overlapping time commitment and prioritize them over this raid. That is a fact. And has said to me in private that if we want to find a person to replace him, that he completely understands, and that is also a fact. We have a slight overlap, which is the most painful right now because it's the most apparent, where we're losing time on our raid at the end, and also we are pretty famously not good at starting on time, so we're losing time at the beginning also, which means we only got about an hour and a half on yesterday and today. So like that's not sustainable in the long term. But Nearest's other group is going to the back burner / like done again until the next expansion comes out, once they get clears on E12, which is, we don't know when that's going to happen, but it could be this week, could be next week, could be could have already happened, who knows. Could be a month from now, who knows. But it is also obviously like going to impact our interaction with this content, because Nearest will, as you have noticed, have all of the information on the fights before we even step in. So that is a factor that might be relevant to some people.
I mean, it's also slowing our progress, right? So
Which part?
I mean, period. Like the last 2 nights. If he leaves
Yes, him leaving early.
Even by adding another day, but I mean, it's still like kind of breaks the momentum. Like we're like, let's go back in and try the thing we were just talking about. Oh, never mind.
Yes.
I guess we'll
so-
try it Friday. Like, and hopefully we remember what it was.
So that is. Oh, those are the facts. I'm willing to let other people voice their opinion. I'm not going to express an opinion on what we should do in this situation right now, but I want to see what like other people think.
I wouldn't have done it.
What was that?
I think it's rude.
Yeah.
To leave your current static sort of in a limbo state half of the time to go raid with somebody else. If you want to raid with somebody else, go raid with somebody else, but don't leave your other people kind of like beholden to you on like your schedule.
Yeah.
Like, to it or don't.
I am pretty forgiving if somebody can't make it for a night. You know, it doesn't even. It's fine. It happens, especially if it's a surprise. But like planning to cut out raid time for another, and not just for like real life stuff, but like for another raid group. That's kind of a non-starter. I'm not really willing to compromise on that one.
I think a dick move is the word you're looking for there. Is the proper term. It's a dick move.
Well, you can blame me for some of this because Nearest did tell me in private about this and not the group as a whole. And I did not want to deal with it while we were still trying to figure out, like, we didn't even know what jobs we were going to be raiding on or when the patch was going to drop.
I mean, there's no blame for you. It's not like we were going to try and talk him out of it if he had already made that decision. To tell you, right?
Well, the thing that we might have done differently is we might have just replaced him earlier.
Fair. That's fair.
So,
Though recruiting's probably in between patches when there hasn't been a raid tier in months, right? Now is probably the time to be recruiting.
so that is. As for things that we can do, if we want to replace Nearest, once again, Nearest has already said that there's no hard feelings if that is the case, because it is, you know, like he said, he made his decision. He chose his priorities. I also didn't want to lose momentum in T. So that
Hey,
was
we
a
got
little bit of a
last
selfish.
phase with everyone alive. That's better than we ever did on Coil. I was impressed with our progress in that place.
So, do we want to find a replacement for Eden? Like, this is another like semi-viable option, which is like we recruit just for Eden, and then once we're on farm on Eden, and we feel like we want to get back to Savage or not Savage, Ultimate rating. You know, like not be beholden to that person.
Well, I mean, if we're recruiting someone to do Savage with us, are we just going to kick him to the curb afterward and not bring him into T with us?
Right. That's the other thing. It's like,
I mean, yeah, choosing to bring somebody in for Eden but keeping Nearest for T. If that other person's interested, I'm not going to choose Nearest over this other person, whoever they are. Like, you know, Nearest has made his decision. It might not be hard feelings on his part, but like, we don't have to be happy about it. I full-heartedly endorse recruiting and replacing.